Hey guys, it's Eric. I haven't done one of these for a while, but I'm doing my first sit-down vlog in a long time. Today I wanted to talk about the safety measures and protocols that are being put in place at Hersheypark. This is the first weekend that the park was open. It was open for springtime in the park, and we went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had a great time all 3 days that we went, but we know there was a little bit of concern about crowds being a little too heavy and maybe some things not being in place that they were. I'm gonna tell you what I think about how everything went at the park this weekend, and I have some really good news. So like I said, we went all 3 days. Friday, it was cold. I will put a link to my blog there. Just a general overview of what happened on our first day at the park. It was springtime in the park. It was cold. It was like 36 degrees. We stood and waited. But yeah, again, there's the card. You can watch it and you can go see how things were operating in the park and some of the rides that were open and things like that. But today we're talking about safety measures and protocols. So as soon as you get there, while you're waiting in line at the main gate at Hersheypark, there are speaker announcements, and it's kind of like when she's saying the general things. Wear a mask, social distance, hand sanitizer, those sort of things for the safety of all the guests and the employees in the park. It's very important. The message plays every few minutes. It plays throughout the park. It plays at the front gate. You can hear it pretty much everywhere. In addition to that, there is signage all over the place as well. So, I mean, it's not like annoying, you know what I mean? Like, I've noticed it here and there. I think I noticed it more because I was looking for it, because I wanted to do a vlog about it. There is signage and it is everywhere. And it is a gentle reminder that it's very easy to remember to wear a mask, remember to social distance, hand sanitizer is available. So it's not like they're not making an effort on their part to give those gentle reminders to you. So the announcements over the speakers, signage everywhere, two very easy ways that the park is doing what they're supposed to be doing to make sure things are safe for their guests and for the employees. All right, the whole thing about wearing a mask. So yes, masks are still required to be worn in the park. Anything that covers your nose and mouth. It didn't seem like there was any kind of restriction on what kind of masks you could or could not use. Like some people were wearing those gaiters, the neck gaiter things. Most everybody else is just wearing a mask. The disposable mask, hospital mask, reusable cotton masks. As long as you're wearing a mask, you're good. If you don't have a mask, or if you find like you got there and you forgot to get a mask, they are selling masks at Chocolate World. The masks that they have are very comfortable. They're super comfortable, super soft, and they're character themed. So there's like a Hershey's one, a Reese's one, Kisses, and Icebreakers. And they are sold in packs of 4. So they have adult sizes and kid sizes. I have another vlog about that you can watch here that I made a little bit earlier at the end of last year. Masks are also available at the supply store. I know they have like a display as you're getting ready to walk into the checkout, that there's some hats and things, and there's Hersheypark themed masks on that wall as well. And it's Hersheypark themed, so come on, you gotta get with the theming, right? It's fun. But if you don't and you bring your own mask, that's cool too, as long as you're wearing it. All right, the next thing, hand sanitizers. So yes, hand sanitizer has been a big thing ever since the pandemic has been started. Hersheypark has hand sanitizer everywhere. There are various kinds of hand sanitizer throughout the park, inside the supply company, right in line for the new Milton's Ice Cream Parlor. Plug there, and the Sweetery. There are the Ecolab hand sanitizers, the foaming sanitizer. Throughout the park, there are so many of them. There's a hand sanitizer here, there's a hand sanitizer there, there's a hand sanitizer over here, there's one more over there. There are so many. They are on the games, of course, because games require a lot with playing, like, you know, holding the shooters or throwing balls or hoops or discs or whatever. All different kinds of games that you can play. But you're touching things, so hand sanitizer, obviously it makes sense to have hand sanitizer at those locations. On some of those locations, there are hand sanitizers on multiple posts around that game. Always available, always there. There was some hand sanitizer around food options as well. Definitely when you come out of the restrooms, make sure you get some. They're easy to find and they're everywhere, so make sure you're using hand sanitizer. I know a lot of people do bring their own to the park now, but if you haven't, there's plenty of it for you to find in the park. Okay, social distancing. So I know this was a big one that was a topic of discussion on social media throughout the weekend. And a lot of people were kind of panicked because there wasn't a lot of social distancing, especially at the entry to the park. But definitely in ride queues and in food lines, there were social distance markers throughout. And in the stores, stuff like that, you know, like when you're lining up to cash out, 6 feet of space in between each. So I'm gonna show an example here at Candemonium. There were social distance markers on the ground as you were waiting in the queue lines. A lot of the queue lines were blocked off, so like maybe every other one, or depending on how many lines there were, maybe there were groups of 2 that were blocked off at a time, just to allow a little bit more room for safety. But the practices are in place, and because of that, a lot of the lines were getting so long that they were being backed out of the queues for those attractions. And that's where another major problem came in. So there was people lined up outside of rides waiting to get in. But you know what? They had security and employees there to politely ask people to remember to keep distance between each other, even though those markers weren't on the ground, because they weren't cues for the ride. They were just in the general pathway. And they also asked guests to make sure they were stepping aside so they weren't like out in the middle, of a walkway that would prevent traffic from moving either way. They were on it. And really, they were doing a very good job to try to keep things as minimal as possible, but as neat in line as they could too, and reminding people about the social distancing practices. Some other ways that Hersheypark was being mindful of social distancing and other safe practices for their guests was like at the drink machine. So if you have a season pass or the king size season pass, or if you had the day drinking pass, whatever, for whichever cup you were allowed to have that reusable cup for. So what Hersheypark is doing is that they have little kiosk things next to the soda fountains in the Pepsi fill areas that you actually scan your ID. They will give you a cup that is prepared with a lid and a straw in it. You go and you scan your ID and it'll automatically give you 30 seconds to select your drink of choice. So you're actually doing all the work. There is no employee engagement back and forth passing your cups or filling or whatever. So that's actually one of the really great ways that Hersheypark was implementing safety for their guests. We found it very easy once we got the hang of it and what we knew we were doing after somebody explained it to us. And so what we knew what we were doing, we were able to tell their guests in line what was going on with it as well. It seemed to be catching on. So good job with that one. For character meet and greets, we saw two areas in the park where they had character meet and greets. One was at the Music Box Theater, and the other one was out in Founder's Way by the Milton Hershey Fountain. What they do is they kind of block off the character with a rope, and you're allowed to go so far up and turn around and get your picture and say hi and wave, that sort of thing. It still allows for some interaction with the characters, and it's a great way to support the park. So again, Hersheypark encouraging their staff to remind people to practice social distance safety and all those things. So like if you were going into a ride, there was a staff person there that said, welcome to this ride. Like for Laugh Track example, there would be a person at the front entrance who was saying, welcome to Laugh Track. Please be mindful of the social distance markers on the ground as you're waiting throughout the queue. We thought that was a very easy way to remind guests about, and it's fresh, right? Right there as you're going on to wait for that ride. So you're gonna be thinking about it. You're probably gonna be more conscious of it and be more willing to participate and do the things that you're supposed to do anyway. Overall, I think Hersheypark is doing it right. I think that they have good practices and protocols in place. I think that their staff knows how to promote the protocols and safety policies. I think that they are working hard. I think it was very stressful on a very busy holiday weekend, opening weekend, to have as many people as they did and trying to keep all these things going. But I think that they did a good job as they could. The big problem with people complaining on social media about crowds and social distancing not happening, and like you have to be mindful. You have to remember, like, so we're adults. We've been in a pandemic for over a year now. We kind of have to remember that it's up to us to make sure that we're doing what is best for us too. I'm not going to instantly assume that when I go to a park that the park is open just for me and just for my family, and that I'm the only one there, and that, no matter how much money I spend or what I spend it on or how I got there or whatever, or how long it took me to get there and this sort of thing, I know that for my safety and for my family's safety that I'm going to keep 6 feet apart from the person in front of me. I hope the person behind me does the same, and if not, I'm going to give them a gentle reminder about it as well. But you're gonna have to be an adult. Young kids obviously are still not aware, and they're kids. What are you gonna do? Teenagers should know better, but teenagers are teenagers. But as adults, it is up to us to make sure that we're following the protocols and safety policies, not only for our own safety, but for the safety of others. Like, if they say wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you wanna come into this park, you wear a mask. If you're gonna wait in line for rides, wait in line socially distanced. There's simple rules to follow. If it doesn't make you feel comfortable, don't come yet. The policies are in place to ensure safety for the guests, but if you yourself have made a decision that it is not time for you to go, that you don't feel right going, don't go. And that's for any theme park, that's for whatever you're gonna do, that's wherever you're gonna go. Yes, we're making vast improvements. We've got vaccinations. We have some pretty good policies and protocols in place to make sure that people can still go and have a good time. I myself did not feel unsafe at any point while I was in Hersheypark. I didn't feel like anybody was crowding me or rushing me. I didn't feel like there wasn't any staff doing anything to make sure those things were happening. We saw those things happening. So, I mean, I can tell you that I know of staff that were telling people to please stay 6 feet apart from each other. That there was staff giving gentle reminders about the safety markers on the ground and using hand sanitizer and those sort of things. Hersheypark is doing it right. If you yourself are not ready, then maybe it's not your time to visit yet. These are just the opening weekends of Hersheypark. The summer season's gonna start happening on Memorial Day weekend. There are many more opportunities in April and May on weekends before the park opens to come back and kind of maybe test run it if you want to do that first before you come back for the summer. Other than that, maybe you can just wait for the summer and come back then. Come back during a weekday when you know it's not going to be so busy anyway. But it's Hersheypark, and Hersheypark is exploding with opportunity, and there's so many great things happening there. So the park is growing. We see the crowd sizes growing. There's a lot happening here, and it's all good, it's all great, and we're looking forward to an awesome 2021 season at the park. All right guys, that's all I got for today. I hope this information was helpful for you. Leave a comment below, tell me what you saw, what you didn't see. Maybe there's some things that we missed that maybe really do need to be addressed, and maybe we can get those things worked out. But on the whole, I think the Hersheypark is doing a great job. All right guys, we'll see you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thanks.